don't really know what to call this one yet. Because it's really loaded and it starts with like talking about retirement, which I've kind of discussed before in an earlier conversation, but this is way more about other stuff. So I guess we'll get into it. I think a lot of people can't wait to retire, and they discuss retirement as this beautiful, amazing thing where they get to kick their feet up and just not do anything. In the previous thing, if you look at retirement and search my conversations, I think it was last year, I discussed that that's not what I would be doing, that I would be working, like full-time artist, like being productive, working on myself, obviously, but just like working in the way that I want to, at my pace and all those things. And it's not about like, oh, I'm just going to take a nap in the canoe while I'm fishing every day, and that's what I'm going to do, is do nothing. That isn't fulfilling for me. That's about as much as I think I'll say about that. The thing is, there's this other freedom that comes with retirement, and I think that it's very liberating to be financially free. I mean, it's not just retirement. I guess it comes with financial freedom. The liberty that comes with financial freedom. I guess this isn't about retirement. And financial freedom can go more than one way, right? Like if I was homeless and riding the rails and whatever, I always think about riding the rails because it's just like, again, if I was homeless, I don't think I'd be just sitting around. I just don't think I could do that. I'd have to be doing something and having experiences and continuing to progress in life in some way or another. Other financial freedom could be having a lot of money so that you don't need to make more money, which means you could retire, right? You don't need to keep making money in order to feed yourself and sustain your life. And there's a lot of liberty with financial freedom, and that one of those liberties, I don't have the option. I mean, if you want to continue being in this social society, you don't necessarily have the liberty to say the things you want to say, when you'd like to say them, how you'd like to say them, to whom you'd like to say them to. And that is of great interest to me, because I don't like that the way things have turned out, challenging people is seen as combative and offensive and would make you a social outcast. I think that being able to call things out and being not necessarily rewarded, but it just being like commonplace culturally to be in public and being able to say things to people without certain consequences would be great. And I don't mean like being rude and mean and abusive and just, oh, we should be able to say anything we want without consequence and that's freedom of speech. That's not what I mean. I mean like, if someone is berating an employee, to be able to step in and be like, yo, what are you doing? Sometimes people do that. However, there's a fear of repercussion, that person could retaliate physically, violently against you, because people in this culture are so uncomfortable with being challenged to the point that they get so defensive that they need to forward that feeling onto you to make you uncomfortable, to make you feel what they think they're feeling or what they don't want to feel. And sometimes that just gets very petty and goes beyond physical violence, and it's career ending and it's whatever else, right? And some of it is just like grumpy old man stuff that I want to be able to say, that when someone's like, hey, do you want to do this? I'll be like, no, I don't. Without the social repercussions. Because again, it's just like, I don't want to do that thing. That should be allowed. I should be allowed to say, no, I don't want to do that. That doesn't seem like it would be a good use of my time. I've got other things that I'd like to do with that. Just keeping up these social graces and appearances is exhausting. And for some people, I think it's just, I don't know, you just got to play the game. And I agree. I understand the game. I understand the rules. But I have a very hard time playing by them consistently because it's exhausting. It takes a lot of mental and emotional energy and time, which is the universal truth, which is the thing, is the currency we all abide by, which is time. And I am frustrated on a daily basis with how much I have to bite my tongue and not say how I really feel. And I know I'm not alone in this, right? But again, this isn't about like being abusive or aggressive. It's about being able to just be honest in a way wherein you can challenge somebody. I mean, there's those two examples of like challenging people, calling them out without knowing them first, or just not having a certain kind of relationship with them that I think right now you would need to have before you could do that safely. Doing that and not having to feel scared. I think that if I was some 90-year-old man speaking my mind about whatever, one, it's interesting because people don't take you seriously necessarily, but also there could be there's a freedom with being able to say what you need to say and call people out. But it's just interesting that once you can attain that freedom in age, people don't take you seriously, right? I think a lot of what people respect is power. So if you were financially free enough to challenge people in a certain way, if you were homeless, I don't think they would take you seriously either. Even though your logic and reasoning could be sound, I think that they would, again, get defensive and retaliate and feel like that they are better than you because of their status that you don't have and the comforts that they have that you wouldn't have. That they are more financially liberated, that they could do things and it doesn't matter, right? It's like if you were to abuse a homeless person versus abusing some important person in City Hall. I don't know. I'm sure that legally it'd be treated very differently, even though it shouldn't be. So I think, unfortunately, what people would respect is power. And having that respect to a degree to not retaliate, but they still might not, in their heart, want to listen to what you have to say or take that in at all. And I guess there's no way to do that. Again, part of this is just like, I feel better when I say things versus when I don't say things. So even though I'm very aware that someone may not actually take those words and do anything positive with them, at least I've said them, and now it's up to them. But if I don't even get an opportunity to say them, then it weighs on me a bit. It's really hard for me to let that stuff go. And that's something I need to work on. I know that I can't bank on society changing or cultural shifts happening. So I don't even know what I'm discussing anymore. That with financial freedom comes a liberty to express one's self, and I'm not in that position, and I don't want to put myself in that position in the homeless sense or the poverty sense, where you can just say what you want and you don't care. And it's not about not caring either. It's about caring for the culture and people as a whole in a way where you want to correct things, but also caring for yourself and being able to say to whoever it is, whether it be family or work people, if you're still working, or friends or whatever, I was like, no, I don't want to do that. Or strangers, right? It's like, no, I think I'm good, thanks. Like, it's. I wish I had more examples, but I don't right now. And the thing is, like, I like the people that I choose to be around me are people that I hope they are comfortable challenging me. That is why I want them there. That is why I've chosen them to be around me. That is why I continue to interact with them. And challenging me can come in a lot of ways. Sometimes it's a very direct challenge in a conversation, and part of it is just by leading by example. And I want to be able to challenge those people too, right? And I think that is good. That is opportunity for growth. That is a circle of people who are pushing each other forward. And that is what I want to be a part of. But if we could expand that further out to just have a culture where that is more accepted and the norm, that would be my utopia.